Hi everybody, welcome back to Liable Zest. Let's get straight into our 30-minute Pilates workout. We're going to be starting seated in the center of our mats. I want your feet straight out in front of you. You are lengthening that spine, hands out in front of you, and we're going to take a deep inhale. Exhale, tucking in that chin, head, neck and chest all the way down, reaching our chest towards our knees as we reach towards our toes. Inhale, exhale, slowly rolling ourselves back up, bringing arms up overhead, then back to T-point, back to center, deep breath in, exhale, back down. That's the sequence. We're going to do 3 of these, and that's 1, and back up, arms up to center, into T-point, back to center, arms back out in front of you, deep breath in, exhale, rounding yourself down, allow that spine to stretch, knees to ground, ankles flex. And slowly coming back up, bringing arms up to center, back to T-point. Let's do 1 more, bringing them back to center. Exhale, tucking in and reaching. Deep breath in. Exhale, slowly coming back up into seated position. Let's bring our arms into T-point, lengthening that spine. We're going to inhale, exhale, bring arms up towards the center. Inhale, back to T-point. We're going to just do a few of these. As we're doing so, I want you to lengthen that spine. Activate those back extensors. Activate that core and allow that mobility to come into those shoulders. And last one, before we bring our arms back to T-point, we're rotating them to the palms to face in front of you. We're going to inhale, and on that exhale, we're inhaling, rotating towards our left-hand side, and then we exhaling, reaching outwards on the outer part of our toe, and slowly back to center, then rotating back to T-point, and inhaling, rotate, exhale to do the same thing on the other side, reaching, inhale, back to center, exhale, rotate, and you can see my backhand does an internal rotation as I reach forward, and slowly back. Try keep your feet and your ankles in that same positioning, flexed and knees to floor. If you do struggle, you can bend those knees. And last one, reaching forward and slowly coming back up. We're going to bring our feet to the center of the mat. We're going to go straight into rolling like a ball. Remember, we want to use our stability and our core strength to maintain that control and not momentum. So let's lift and hover our feet off the floor. We have that beautiful activation and control. Hands are on our shins. Let's slowly inhale, and on that exhale, we are rounding ourselves back and slowly back up. Try and get that stability before we inhale, roll back, exhale, back up. Let's do 2 more, and then we're going to progress the movement. Deep breath in as we roll back, exhale, back up and hover. Last one, inhale, roll back, exhale, back up. From here, we're going to externally rotate those knees, so keep those feet hovering. You are placing your hands on the inside of your feet and wrapping them around your ankles. And you are slowly going to clap 3 times with your feet. 1, 2, 3. Inhale, roll back. 1, 2, 3, and back up. Let's do that 3 more times. Stabilizing with that back. Just make sure that you're in the center of the mat and you have enough space behind you to roll back. And let's begin. 1, 2, 3, rounding that back to start the movement. 1, 2, 3, slowly back up. 1, 2, 3, and rounding back. 1, 2, 3, and back up. Last one. 1, 2, 3, inhale, roll back. 1, 2, 3, exhale, coming back up and holding. Let's extend those legs out in front of us. I want you now to bring those knees back in. We're keeping those feet off the floor. You should be getting a beautiful activation back straight, and we're going to hold our hands on our ankles or on our shins, depending on our level of range of motion, and we're pointing those toes, and we're just extending our knees alternately, just to stretch out those hamstrings, and extend and extend. And now what we're going to do is extend slightly outwards to the side to get a little bit more of a stretch on that inner thigh. And let's do 2 more on each leg, and 1 and 2, and slowly dropping those feet back to center and placing your hands behind you. I want you to rest your elbows on your mat, and we're going to lengthen that spine, drawing belly to spine, slowly lifting our legs up into tabletop. We're going to alternately extend and raise one leg lower as we extend and raise one leg higher, and back to center. Exhale, changing over. Inhale, center, and extend, and center, and extend, and center. So we're getting a stretch in the hamstring. As we maintain control, we're getting activation into that core. And we've got 1 more. Just make sure we're not slumping into those shoulders, keeping that core tight. And last one, coming back to center. We're going to keep our knees and ankles together. Elbows are comfortably on that floor. We're going to start with some double leg toe taps. Let's take a deep breath. Exhale, double leg toe tap. And we're just going to do 5 of these before we progress the exercise. Keep looking straight in front of you, keeping that control. And 4 and 5, back up to tabletop. Now we are slowly going to lower and extend and lift. So we're just scooping our feet down, extending and lifting back up. And we're going to do 5 of these before we reverse the movement. And exhale, down and lower. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, down and lower. Inhale, back to center. Let's do 1 more. Nice, everybody. And back up to center. Last little push. We are reversing that movement. We're extending and lowering and coming back up. Extend, then lower, and try and keep that body balanced. And extend and lower and come back up. Let's do 2 more. Extend, lower, and come back up. Last one. Extend, lower, and come back up. And slowly coming back up into a seated position, hugging those knees towards your chest, and just holding for a few seconds. Allow that heart rate to decrease. Inhaling and exhaling. We're going to come back to that position on the mat. I want you to slowly lie yourself down in a supine position, and we are going to lift our legs up into tabletop. We're then going to extend our legs up towards the ceiling, or in my case the sky, and I want you to lift your head, neck and chest off the ground, and we are slowly going to lower left leg as we pull right leg towards the chest. We're anchoring that left leg as we pull that right, and we're changing over. If you struggle with that hamstring flexibility, it's okay. Just keep that knee bent as long as you're getting a stretch, as well as maintaining that core activation to keep that head, neck and chest off the floor. And last one before we progress this exercise, and slowly coming back to center. We're interlacing our hands behind our heads, and we're going to do that same thing. Inhale, exhale, lower one leg as we pulsate. So now we are using our core to keep that stability as we stretch that hamstring, and slowly coming back up to center, keeping our head, neck and chest where they are. We're inhaling, exhaling, rotating right rib towards left, and back to center, and changing over, and back to center, and changing over, and back to center. And last one on each side. And slowly coming back to center, rolling head, neck, and chest back down, and hugging those knees towards your chest. We're just rocking left to right, just to loosen that body up. You should be getting a deep burn into that upper part of your abdominals, as well as a beautiful feeling of flexibility and mobility into those hamstrings. Let's place our feet onto the mat, and we are slowly going to roll ourselves up into a pelvic curl. So let's inhale, exhale, rolling that pelvis up, 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 up towards the ceiling. Squeezing those glutes, digging those heels into the ground, bringing arms overhead. And as we exhale, bringing arms down and slowly rolling those hips back down to the floor. We're going to do 5 of these. Inhale, exhale, rolling yourself up, bringing arms overhead. Inhale, exhale, arms to sides, rolling yourself back down. We've got 3 more of these. Inhale, exhale, rolling yourself up. Just make sure those knees aren't falling outwards. And slowly down. Inhale, exhale, lift up, bringing arms overhead as we get to our maximal range of motion in that pelvis. And slowly bringing arms down and rolling those hips back down. Last one, we're going to stay in the air. Inhale, exhale, rolling yourself back up, 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 digging those heels into the ground. I want your arms to stay on your sides this time. Lifting right leg up into tabletop, extending that right leg, pointing that toe, and we're slowly going to lower and lift that leg. And as we're doing so, we are pointing our toe downwards as we go lower, and then we're flexing that ankle as we lift up. That's to lead through that heel, activating in that glute. Nice, everybody. And let's do 2 more. Don't strain that neck. And last one. And back to center, allowing those knees to hold for 10. Inhaling and exhaling. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to tabletop, dropping that right foot, lifting that left foot, extending it, pointing that toe. Inhale, exhale, lower. Inhale, back up. And that's 2. Keeping breathing, keeping those hips aligned, keeping glutes activated. Keep going. Work hard on getting that quality activation. Let's do 2 more before we do our 10-second hold. And back to holding. Keep holding. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that leg back to tabletop, dropping it onto the floor, lifting those hips to slowly roll yourself back down. I want us to extend our feet onto the floor. Well done, everyone. We are slowly going to lift our right knee off the floor so that leg is straight. That other leg is extended up. We're interlacing our hands behind our head. So you can see both legs are off the floor. Hands are interlaced. And we're slowly going to bring our right hand into T-point. And we're lifting up to touch that opposite ankle with our hand. That's 2 and 3. Working hard. 4 and 5. And slowly coming down, changing legs over, lowering that left leg, hovering it off the floor, and placing our right hand behind our head. Inhale, exhale, lift, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Lifting that leg up towards the center and keeping it at a 45-degree angle, keeping our head, neck, and chest off the floor. We are slowly going to extend our arms out to our sides, palms facing the ceiling, and we're slowly bringing arms to overhead and then back to center. That's 1 and 2 and 3. Keep working, sucking belly to spine, and 4 and last 1 and 5, and slowly bringing arms to sides, rotating our palms to face the floor, lowering head, neck and chest to the floor, bringing arms overhead. We're inhaling, exhaling, lifting head, neck and chest off the floor, and slowly coming back down. We're going to do 5 of these before we progress into hundreds. That's 2 and 3. 2 more before we do our hundreds. 4 and last 1, staying in the air, pushing air into the ground for 10, inhaling for 5 counts and exhaling, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly lowering head, neck and chest back down and hugging those knees towards your chest, placing those feet on the floor, feet slightly larger than shoulder width apart, arms in a T position, and we're just going to rock those knees from side to side. Just allow that body to recover and stretch out. We're going to extend our feet onto the floor, bringing arms overhead. Deep breath in to prepare for our roll up. As we inhale, lifting arms to sides, head, neck and chest off the floor. Exhale, roll yourself up and over, reaching forward. Inhale, exhale, roll back down. And we're going to do 3 of these. And inhale, arms to sides, lifting on that exhale over and reaching forward and slowly back down. Last 1. Inhale, arms to sides, lifting head, neck and chest. Exhale, reaching forward and over and slowly coming back into a seated position. We're going to bring our hands behind us, getting ready for our back support. Let's inhale, exhale, lifting our hips off the ground up towards the ceiling, and as we do so, we're looking up towards the ceiling. And inhale, lowering and hovering. We're not dropping onto the floor. Exhale, lift and open that chest, looking up towards the ceiling and down. And lifting up and down. Let's do 3 more. And that's 1. Exhale, up. And we're going to hold for 10 seconds on that last one. And up and hold. 10, 9, looking up in front of you. 3 and 2 and 1. Transferring your weights onto your left leg, lifting right leg into tabletop. Inhale, exhale, toe tap. We're just doing 5 of these. That's 1 and 2. Looking in front of you. 3 and 4 and 5. Dropping that leg down, lifting the other one. Inhale, exhale, toe tap. That's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Dropping that leg down and slowly lowering those glutes back to the floor. If you struggle with that movement in that position, you can do the movement with your knees a little bit more bent, and you'll be able to lift and lower that leg up and down. Let's slowly bring those glutes back to the floor. We're going to finish off in this position with a rollover that's progressed. So let's lower ourselves back onto the mat. Let's extend those legs. We're going to lift right leg into tabletop, then left leg. We're going to extend those legs, and we are slowly going to inhale, lower those legs, exhale, lifting them up and overhead, and slowly controlling ourselves. We're going to lift ourselves up into that jackknife, allowing that body to become completely perpendicular to the ground. So activating those glutes and core, and then slowly controlling yourself back down and back to starting point. If you struggle with lifting your leg right over into that rollover position, all you have to do is just lift yourself up into that position and then control yourself down. I don't expect you to go right over if it is a difficult movement for you. So let's keep going. Well done, everyone. Let's bring those legs lower, and as we exhale, slowly lifting and rolling our head, legs overhead, and slowly coming back up, slow and controlled. We're going to do one more of these. Inhale, exhale, control yourself, back down. Last one. Inhale, lower those legs, exhale, lifting them over that head, and slowly over, lifting up, 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 and slowly controlling yourself, back down, slow and controlled, and back to center, hugging those knees towards your chest. We're going to turn over onto our left hand side. Well done, everyone. Let's bring those shoulders, hips and knees all aligned. We're going to prepare to lift our hips off the ground, so just make sure that you get into that comfortable side plank. Let's inhale, exhale, lifting those hips off the ground. We're going to lift and extend that upper leg and pointing it out in front of us, arm in T-point. We're inhaling, exhaling, toe tapping as we bring arm overhead and back to center. That's 1. Core tight, keeping those hips up. That's 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Keep going. We're doing 8 of these. 6 and 7. Try keep those hips up in the air and holding from here. We are lowering those hips and back up. That's 1 and 2 and 3. Core tight. 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Last little push. We are knee tucking and extending. That's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, 6, 7 and 8. Slowly coming down and lowering those hips. We're going to turn over onto our all fours to prepare for front support position before we progress into that next same sequence on the other side. Let's inhale, exhale, extend right leg out behind you. Inhale, exhale, extend left leg out behind you. Core nice and tight, hands comfortably below those shoulders, pelvis in neutral. We're inhaling, exhaling, lifting right leg up. Exhale, toe tap. That's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Make sure your chin is aligned, heels over toes. And 6, 7 and 8. Dropping that leg down. Inhale, exhale, lifting left leg. Inhale, exhale, toe tap. That's 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Dropping that leg down and holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering those knees and leaning back into rest position. And just pushing those shoulders into the ground, allowing that heart rate to come back down. Inhaling and exhaling. We're going to turn over onto our right hand side to do that same thing that we just did on our left. So let's get those elbows below our shoulders, hips, knees, shoulders all aligned. Deep breath in, exhale, lifting those hips off the ground, extending that upper leg, arm to T-point. Inhale, exhale, toe tap as we bring hand overhead. Inhale, center. That's 1 and 2. Keep going. And 3. Work hard on keeping those hips aligned, glutes forward and core tight. 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, and back up, and slowly dropping that hip while we keep that knee where it is, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, and last little one into that knee tuck, and 1 and 2 and 3, and when we extend, we're getting it back to that high position. Let's do 3 more. 1 and 2 and 3, and slowly coming down and turning over onto your back. Let's place our right knee over our left knee and hugging those ankles towards our body and allowing that body to stretch out. Deep breaths. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Changing legs over, hugging those ankles towards your body and holding. Keep breathing as we stretch. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly coming back to center, extending left leg onto the ground, placing hands behind the back of your right knee, extending it up towards the ceiling and hugging that knee towards your chest. Allow that stretch. I want you to point your toes towards your nose for 10 counts. Allow that burn behind the back of your calf. And then pointing towards the sky. And bring that knee in a little bit closer if you can. And holding for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bending that knee and slowly bringing it across midline and extending that right arm over into T-point, allowing that stretch down that mid part of your back. You're looking in the opposite direction of your knee, and we're going to hold. Keep holding, allow that body to stretch out, and slowly coming back over to center, extending that right leg, lifting that left leg, placing hands behind the back of that knee, pointing those toes towards the ceiling and holding. Deep breaths, inhaling and exhaling, bringing that knee towards your chest and now pointing those toes towards your nose. Inhale and exhale. And inhale, let's go for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bending that knee and slowly dropping it across the midline, bringing that left hand into T-point and looking in the opposite direction of the knee. Allow that knee to fall. Allow that stretch as you breathe. And slowly coming back over to center, extending your legs onto the floor, bringing arms overhead. Let's inhale, bring arms to your sides, and as we exhale, lifting yourself back up into a seated position. Thank you for completing that session with me. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm so proud of you for getting to this level. Well done for pushing through and keeping up with all the workouts. See you in the next video.